I am super excited. I just got the scans back from my first two rolls of CineStill's new 400D film. CineStill say that 400D is a brand new film they've been working on for a number of years with their manufacturing partners around the world. On their website, they say that it is not a repackaged motion picture film without remjet. They also claim it's got a pretty good exposure latitude and it can be exposed anywhere from ISO 200 to ISO 800 and it can be pushed up to ISO 3200. So when this film was announced in late March, early April, I got on their website straight away and ordered a couple of bricks of CineStill 400D in 35mm format. They arrived last week and I went out and took a whole load of pictures on my Fujifilm Klasse S and my Natura F1.9. In my Fujifilm Klasse S, I shot the film at box speed. In my Natura F1.9, I stuck an ISO 1600 label on it and asked my lab to push it 2 stops. So this video is all about the Klasse S images shot at box speed. If you want to see the Natura images where it's been pushed 2 stops, you'll have to watch the next video. So the first thing I want to show you here is the contact sheet. I send my film down to Ikigai Film Lab, and every time I send film down, I always get at least one contact sheet done. I have no real need for it, I just love seeing all the film laid out here in one image. It looks fantastic. So as you can see here from the contact sheet, the colors look great. I'm really liking the colors here. They sort of look a bit soft and pastel-y in some of the images here, and sort of bright and rich in others. And you can also see on the right hand side of the contact sheet, there's some images of my kids. They look a little bit overexposed. So let's start looking through my favorite images on the roll. Now I got this film into my camera on a Friday night and I went down to the seaside at Wynnum on Brisbane's Bayside. And so the first shot was just an image there of Moreton Bay and the tides out there, and there's some nice sort of blues and golds and greens there, which looks pretty good. The next one is of Manly Boat Harbour. This one's in the afternoon when the sun was dying because we're in winter at the moment and it gets dark quite early in winter. The next couple of images are of a couple of buildings nearby, sort of old historic buildings here in Brisbane. The Masonic Hall here looks kind of interesting. There's some sort of nice colours there in the brickwork there in the sky. And then that second image there of the Ambulance Museum, there's sort of more deep, rich colours there in the brickwork there. It looks really cool there with the direct sunlight on. Here we have a picture of a pandanus palm on the beach there at Wynnum, and you can actually see halation around the leaves of the palm tree there, which is interesting. The next image is of some young ladies. They were having a great time taking photos of each other down there, and I thought it looked like a really nice scene, so I just snapped that one, and I think that's a really nice picture there. I then headed down to one of the train stations. There's 3 train stations in Wynnum, and I took this photo. It's sort of facing west, so you get these beautiful golden sunsets and colourful sunsets in the background there in winter. And this one is certainly no exception. You've got this quite a dark scene here. There's some buildings to the right when you can't really see any detail there, but then you've got the station there lit up and you've got this amazing golden glow behind the train station. I really like that image. I think it looks fantastic. The next lot of images were taken in Cleveland the next day. You can sort of see the palette here. You've got the nice greens, the yellows, the reds, the blues. I think this film looks really nice here. The next couple of shots are of some sort of old buildings here in Cleveland. The first one is of some gum leaves and some eucalyptus tree with their branches hanging down over this old shed. And I've got 2 images here in a row that are very similar. The first one was shot on program mode in the Klasse S at f/16, and you can sort of see quite a bit of detail there in the pale blue of the paint there on the shed. But then if you look at the next image, I think I shot that at f8, so it's a little bit brighter, the exposure, and it sort of seems to have lost that pale blue. It sort of seems to be almost white, the paint there. I think both images look great. I think I prefer the second one shot at f8 though. I then wandered down the road and there was this old building and I took an image of this, but look at the halation here around the windows. This was in direct sunlight and the halation around the windows there is pretty crazy. And I think some of the colourfulness of it, I don't know, it looks a bit overexposed and some of the colours seem to have been lost there in that image. The next couple are at the greengrocers, the local fruit store. This was under sort of fluorescent lighting, and I think I took these at f2.8, 1/60th of a second. So there's some nice colours there, really good colours. So you've got the apples and oranges and mandarins and lemons. I think it would have been better if it was more natural lighting, but I think they look pretty good. The next image you might recognize if you watched my ADOX color mission videos. This is one of these orange flowers. I have no idea what it is, but I think this looks absolutely fantastic. There's sort of soft, subdued lighting here, and I think the oranges and yellows and greens in this image look absolutely superb. And so this is the thing, I think one of the lessons I've found so far just through this one roll, I think CineStill 400D looks a bit better with subdued, softer lighting conditions. I think that harsh sunlight doesn't really do it many favors. But I'll be interested to see what you think. Now, in one of my ADOX color mission videos, I told you that classic cars just seem to leap out at me and find me. And this is no exception. This car was actually parked outside my house randomly one day. I have no idea what kind of car it was, but it had a beautiful green paintwork there, and you can see the beautiful sort of chrome of the car, the trimmings of the wheels and the car. And look at that halation. There's halation there on the wheel rims. So yeah, it makes a really interesting image. The next few images were shot down at the twilight markets down at Raby Bay. So you've got a nice image there of the shops and some boats with beautiful reflections. The next one is of one of the food vans there, which I quite like. And then facing the sunset, you've got this kind of shot there with this beautiful golden glow. And you can just see sort of the boat masts there. And then there's a shot here of the markets. The sort of line of lights in the middle of the image there are all the stall holders for the markets. And you've got this amazing reflection of those big pine trees in the water. To finish off the roll, I went down to the local seaside with the kids on a Sunday afternoon. Have this image here of a boat, and you can see the halation there on the rim of the boat, which is quite interesting. A shot looking south towards, I think, Cuchimudlo Island, and there's some nice boats, and the water looks pretty good there. And then check out this image here. These are my kids walking down to the sand. Now, not a great image by itself, I admit. However, look at the halation there. My son is in direct sunlight. Look at the halation there on his back. Pretty crazy, huh? It seems to be a feature of this film. In direct sunlight, you can get that really quite bright, quite strong halation. I'm not sure what I think of it. Do I love it or do I hate it? Maybe somewhere in between at the moment. I'd love to hear what you think of it. And here is the last photo I'll show you on this roll. It is my beautiful daughter on a rooftop car park. We just bought my son a big new puffer jacket because it's under 20 degrees Celsius here at the moment, being winter, which is officially freezing for us. So we got my son a new jacket, my daughter nabbed it and she put it on for this picture. I think she looks absolutely great. You've got that strong sun coming from one side, illuminating her face and her hair. And it is quite strong, that sun, but I think this image looks absolutely fantastic. I certainly want to shoot some more portraits with CineStill 400D. I think next time I do that though, I think I will be trying to shoot in more subdued lighting conditions. I'm not sure the direct sun sort of approach works too well. I did do that quite often with ADOX Color Mission. I think the images turned out fantastic. However, with some of these CineStill 400D pics, in direct sunlight and those very bright conditions, they look kind of overexposed. I think it has more of a softer kind of a palette than say ADOX Color Mission. The colors aren't quite as rich and vibrant and strong, but I still really like it. I think it's very interesting and I'll be certainly looking forward to shooting more of it. I have a roll in my Contax T3 at the moment. I think I've only taken 2 or 3 photos so far, but I'll certainly be looking to shoot it in more softer, subdued lighting conditions. I don't think I really want to shoot it in harsh sun again. So there you go, there are some selected highlights from my first roll of CineStill 400D. What did you think about the pictures? I would love to know. Give this video the thumbs up and drop a comment down below.